Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's something you probably thought you weren't going to see from me for a good long while, let alone another reaction at all, is RWBY Volume 8. I'm doing the whole thing, hopefully, if I don't get any interruptions tonight. Though obviously, to save on video length and, you know, doing a lot of editing, I'm basically only going to discuss the volume before I watch it, and I will be discussing my overall thoughts after it's over. So basically how this is going to work is I'm going to be splitting off my recordings for the sake of my PC after every chapter that I watch. But instead of doing an outro and an intro for the next time, I am going to just hit record again and get straight into watching the next chapter. And it's going to carry on and carry on and carry on until I've done it all. Not only is this a hurry up because Volume 9 will soon be upon us, but it's also somewhat going towards making up for the lack of content over the last few months. A lot of the small videos that have been going up, that's the work of Atticus Amundsen, that's not been me. I've been on a full mental health rest. Depression keeps coming back in waves. I think I'm going to record. I make some promises. They don't happen. I look like an asshole. It's annoying for me. So basically, this is going to count as one Patreon slot. This is going to count as one YouTube upload, but in the description there will be links to every individual chapter reaction hosted on Streamable. This is so I don't have to wait to unlock Rooster Teeth's copyright blocks. Why would I appeal, why would I dispute like 14 different claims for the sake of a single video? If I'm doing this, I'm just going to redirect them to Streamable. That's a no-brainer. But yeah, I figured I'm going to do something that's both a treat for you and for myself. I'm basically going to watch all of this. Since I'm still somewhat melancholic, I figured what better thing to watch than a bleak show like RWBY at times, but I think the story's headed in a bleaker direction at the moment. I'm thinking, isn't that the kind of thing someone who's battling depression needs? It really is. But also I thought doing this will help warm me up before I hopefully record some Once Upon a Time so that I can then start uploading that. So basically this is in aid of everything for the whole channel, also because I've personally been wanting to check Volume 8 out for myself. I've done very well for myself on being minimal with being spoiled, so that's cool. So I really don't want to wait until Volume 9 comes out and then people start spoiling that. So let's see how we go. Now, I have not gone back to rewatch, but I have fairly firm grasp on where we are right now because I enjoyed Volume 7 a lot. So I remember Volume 7 vividly. And all the Winter and Penny stuff, all the Ironwood stuff, Crow and Clover, Tyrion and Watts. Like, I remember all of it. Neo successfully getting the lamp, was it? And then Ren started flipping out. So I think Ren's close to a breaking point. Yeah, so basically the point as I had from that was that RWBY obviously scared Cinder away. Penny is the Winter Maiden. Neo was successful in her mission, but didn't get much thanks from Cinder, which may cause a bit of friction there. I mean, their alliance is tenuous at best, based on a loose, we both want revenge on RWBY. So who knows where Neo's character is going to go, as mute as she is. Oscar has Ozpin back. He helped calm him down while he was falling after being shot by Ironwood. And that's the point, yeah. Ironwood has basically given in to his insecurities and fear, and he's doing exactly what Salem wants. He's given in to... he's charging full speed ahead into his plan, which unfortunately involves throwing Mantle to the side in favour of the long term rather than the short term. But as people have rightfully pointed out in the comments, this long term plan isn't really that feasible anyway, because from the sounds of it, they're going to space. Like, how long is it going to take humanity to get the technology to come up to them, or do they know how to get back down eventually? Like, are they saying, oh, we're the last bastion of humanity, we're just gonna sit up here forever? That's not really a future, is it? So yeah, he's kind of gone off his rocker a little bit. He's charging blindly ahead because he has the power to do so. You know, power corrupts. And so RWBY, bless her heart, tried to stop this, like, in the name of heroism, and they ended up on the wanted list, and they kicked the Aesop's ass, which I thought was brilliant. I don't care about debates about levels and stuff like that. Like, save that for the nerd forums. From an entertainment standpoint, I thought that was bloody brilliant. like this is what I'm here for. The RWBY gang kicking some ass. Who cares about the details? Like, caring too much about the details is, I think, what makes people sour on this show, because there are some things that don't add up. But guys, from my perspective, this was always meant to be like a popcorn sort of show that also throws in messages. Like, I've never seen it as anything deeper than that. And I think if you're looking for anything deeper than that, that's why you're getting disappointed. Like, I just see this as a shonen. Like, typical with shonen manga and anime. Like, there's cool action, cool music, you know, when the theme starts playing and we start punching the bad guy, blah, blah, blah. But there's also a bit of darkness. There's some themes going on. There's character conflicts. But overall, it's a very comprehensive and easy to understand kind of thing. Like, there are little contrivances here and there. There are little plot missteps here and there, but you take it as part and parcel of an enjoyable shonen. You see what I'm saying? I consider RWBY an enjoyable shonen, if that makes sense to any of you. But yeah, Penny decided to come along, I think, leaving Winter to stew after she got all beat up facing Cinder. Bless her, the previous Winter Maiden. Oh, shit. Bless her heart. Like, but Penny makes a good substitute. Not gonna lie, I'm happy for her. I just hope that she won't be short-lived, because she was already a bit overpowered in Volume 3, which is why they had to nerf her for the Volume 3 finale to have weight. So now that she has main powers as well, I'm worried that they'll have to re-nerf her. So that's a bit concerning, but we'll see. Weiss getting her own placing her own father under arrest. That was bloody beautiful. I love the shade everyone threw at Jacques in Volume 7. It was delicious seeing his world crumble around him, and hopefully we won't see him much ever again. Oh, I'm so proud of Weiss. Oh. And the people know the truth about Salem. At least the people here. Like, I don't know if they were able to broadcast it worldwide yet. I think that was stopped. But I think they at least broadcasted it to Atlas or Mantle. Like, I think it's the whole place. So yeah, I've always wondered, like, I wonder what that's going to mean going forward. I mean, Salem is on her way here, so that's a problem. She's probably going to try and silence everyone. Like, okay, this news does not leave this place. Let me keep the wool over everyone's eyes, thank you. But yeah, she's here. She brought the colossal-looking Grim, so this is going to be a hell of a fight, because everyone's already exhausted from fighting other stuff. Each other, Aesop's, Grim on the ground, you know, trying to evacuate the citizens, and then the big queen herself comes flying in out of nowhere. Everyone was saying, oh no, Salem's not gonna show up, no, there's no way. And she's like, guess what, bitches? And left everyone drooling for Volume 8. And from what I've heard, despite all the drama that happened in Volume 7, oh yeah, and Tyrion killed Clover and got Crow framed for it because that's how the scene looked when those guards came on the scene. I have heard that as drama-filled as Volume 7 was... Oh, Renora kiss. I'm just making sure you guys don't remind me of things I do remember. I've been told that Volume 8 is even more dramatic. Nani? Nani? What? Are you serious right now? Are you actually serious? This is why I've been so adamant about not being spoiled on much for Volume 8. Like, I need to see it. Like, apparently this has raised more talking points than ever before. There was stuff happening that made people, like, spam spoiler blocks of text, you know, where you, like, hide it in Discord and stuff. And they were saying, oh my god, you need to watch this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? Okay, I was already excited for it, but you don't have to hype me up this much. I think that's another part of why it's taken me so long to eventually watch this. I wanted to let the hype cool down. I didn't want to set my expectations too high. So, like I say, I think I'm in the right frame of mind to just watch something like this, get myself back into the flow of reacting, and we'll see where we go from there. So, here we go. RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 1, Divide. Well, after the cutaway. See you guys after the volume. Okay, guys, I this is immediately after hitting stop on the redirected reaction. I'm not gonna try and formulate a script of talking points for what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna roll off the tongue here. I think the seriousness of this final chapter of the volume warrants it. I think you should just get me raw and in the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed my little breakdown. That's fun. That's prime reaction material, isn't it? But it's my true feelings, so I guess that does make it a good reaction. Oh my gosh, if there's any solace, is that I get to watch other people's reactions now and have them, you know, rejoice in the fact I'm not alone in feeling that way. I'm sure there'll be plenty of others who have had a similar response. And yeah. Oh boy, what a doozy. Oh. So, as I was saying during the credits, in terms of a complete package of a volume, this might be my favourite of New RWBY. It might be. I mean, Volume 3 was also phenomenal in its build-up towards the chaos at the end. But I don't know, there was something about the added character weight of this volume. A lot of things that people said, a lot of things that developed, a lot of things like the Whitley, Hazel, Emerald stuff, you know, like turning around and becoming helpful. More like twists and turns in the Cinder-Neo dynamic. The Cinder backstory, which I thought was decently handled. Because we all know it's the Cinderella story. Hurry up and tell it. And I felt like it was competently delivered. I'm not going to complain about that. We had some good relic action. The MacGuffin of the questions has been taken off the table for now, so the only danger that poses is Salem owning it at all, because obviously you just need to own the relics to summon the gods and cause the apocalypse. And we got to see the spirit inside the staff creation. He's cool. buff hot guy who likes creating. He's like, oh yeah, just show me the schematics. Like, oh yeah, I can build this for you. Like, oh, by the way, don't fall. And nearly all of them fall. Great job, guys. Great job. You heeded his warning to perfection. Now, I know that some citizens fell off as well, didn't they? In Cinder's initial blasts, some citizens fell off. I'm sure they did. So maybe this will turn into an escort mission. Maybe the team are going to have to protect the people that fell through with them. But so this is true separation of the party. This is true separation because this means Volume 9 and onward. One half of the team is all the way in Vacuo, but at least they have Oscar and Winter on this side. Whereas Team RWBY plus John has... And Neo, yes? She said Neo falling as well. So this makes me wonder if Neo and RWBY are going to get their differences worked out. Because I'm just going to put it on the table. I see a lot of character drama coming from the Team RWBY side in the coming volume or volumes, based on wherever they are, or if they're even all together. They could have been sent off individually, like when Bartholomew Kuma separated the Straw Hat Pirates at Shibodi. You know, if you're a One Piece fan, you get that. Like, I don't know if that's the case. If everyone's been separated individually, I think it'd make more sense if they were all together, because, like I said, Jean has got to have a conversation with RWBY about what's just happened. It's too big for them not to talk about it. And I don't even care if it means building up of not talking about it to, we got to talk about it. Like, that's fine as well, as long as at some point it does get talked about and used as a drama point, because this is heavy enough to warrant it. This is RWBY's best friend, aside from Weiss, and her own sister. Still, like, regardless of whether she asked for it or not, the fact of the matter is John has to live with the fact that he has killed Penny, the human with flesh and blood. He has killed another human being. This is also why it's important that he is with Yang and Blake, because they also know what it's like to use a bloody blade to kill another person. I think this is going to be crucial in getting him to forgive himself. And this is making me well up. Do you agree? Do you see where I'm going with that? I think that they can bond over the murders that they have committed. Like, in the nicest possible way. In the most emotionally supportive possible way. Like, help each other deal with it. You know, since they have already had time to process and be like, we did what we had to do and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a bit different in a self-defense scenario as opposed to an assisted suicide scenario, but still, there is common ground to be established that they can help him not hate himself for what he's done. I definitely think that's going to be an issue for someone as sensitive as John. I relate to John heavily, and it's making me cry, so I think that's where we're headed. But like I say, he also needs to have a showdown talk with RWBY, because she is not going to be able to accept it at first. I think she is going to get angry at him, possibly even hate him for a bit, before she accepts that there was no other way. I think that's the road we're heading down with that character group. And I think it's also important that Neo went with them, because she is the one who has yet to get her end of the bargain, which is revenge against RWBY. She wants RWBY dead just as much as Cinder does. So they're either going to settle things once and for all, or RWBY is finally going to get to tell Neo the truth about what happened to Roman, and that it wasn't technically her fault, and maybe they can convince Neo to side with them just like Emerald, so then we'll have a matching set. Emerald with one set of our heroes, and Neo with the other set of our heroes. Do you see my line of logic here? And then it sets things up for an eventual rematch between Neo and Cinder. And also, she can make up with Yang or whatever. But, you see, my gears are turning, and that's where I'm thinking in terms of predictions. Oh my goodness. Mantle is now Atlantis, so that's just completely flooded. Fine. All the citizens are, like, on their way through the vacuo sandstorms, and Winter is going to have to suck it up for now and help using the powers that Penny was going to use. But, like I said, if there's one thing I'd praise the most about this volume, it's all of the character progression and interaction that we've had. That some armchair critics might say, oh, too little, too late. I say it's never too late for scenes as wonderful as these. I've always been an optimist. I've always been soft on this show because I don't think it's a show that's at the level where you do pick it apart like art house cinema. Like, I consider it a popcorn show that also knows how to tug at your emotions from time to time. And boy, did this volume prove it. That's my basic stance on that. I just see it as a popcorn drama that really gets to me because I love it. But yeah, a lot of people will say, "Oh, too little, too late," blah blah blah. But no, I loved it. I loved everything that they did for the characters in this. A lot of things that needed to be said were said, and I actually feel a little bad for Watts. Because it was thanks to him that Cinder finally had a eureka moment of, oh yeah, that is how I've been acting, isn't it? She got, like, the life lesson finally explained to her, how she was being so stubborn and not learning. And then just like have a smoky death trapped in fire. That's cold, Cinder. And, you know, I guess you could take that as a joke if you want. That's cold, Cinder. That's cold. Oh. Like, damn. A lot of sacrificing going on. Yeah, I'm really sorry I don't remember the monk's name. It's been too long since I watched Volume 7. That's why it took me so long to remember Harriet's name. But big salute to him, as I said, for sacrificing himself. But you see, I didn't have an emotional attachment to him. So it was more of a, oh, well, respect to you, sir. But with Penny, there is what? Volume 2, Volume 3. And then we didn't see her until Volume 6, Volume 7. That's 5 volumes of attachment to the wonderful Penny. And for her to meet her end like that is the cruelest thing Rooster Teeth could have done to us. She was not done in by Ironwood. She was not done in by Salem. She was not done in by Cinder. She was not done in by Grimm. She wasn't even done in, you know, in any way that would have been like, oh yes, she went out like a, you know, like she took a final stand, that kind of thing. No. The way sweet little Penny has to die, getting stabbed by her own friend, by her own request, so that the power could immediately pass on. And that selfless act alone is why she was the most worthy hero of all. And I hope we will always remember that. Now, it's quite late for me, and I have a bed that's calling my name. And after what this has put me through, I think I very well need it. So, final thoughts. Best volume. I'll see you guys next time.